There is a truth many people learn very late. Peace begins the moment you stop reacting. This is the story of a man who learned this truth slowly, sometimes painfully, but beautifully in the end. In a quiet village near the rivers of Maharashtra lived a man named Devansh. People respected him because he worked hard, but many also feared him because Devansh had one problem. He got angry very easily. If the bus was late, he complained loudly. If someone walked too close, he frowned and muttered. If children played near his window, he scolded their parents. Every day he repeated the same line, "Why can't people behave properly? Why won't they let me live in peace?" His wife, Tara, was patient and gentle. She never raised her voice, but she watched him with quiet sadness. One evening she said softly, "Devansh, you allow every small thing to disturb your mind. Why do you hand your peace over to others?" Devansh replied quickly, "I am not the problem. People are careless and rude. They are the ones who make me angry." He did not know that anger was burning him, not others. One hot afternoon, he was fixing the fence outside his house. A young boy ran by with a paper kite, tripped, and stepped on one of Devansh's tools, breaking it. Devansh exploded. He shouted so loudly that the boy froze in fear, then ran away crying. At first, Devansh felt proud. "I taught him a lesson," he told himself, but that night, while the whole village slept, he sat alone outside. The moon was bright, but inside him everything felt dark. He whispered, "Why do I always feel empty after shouting? Why do I feel even more tired?" He had no answer. But something inside him cracked, a small door beginning to open. 2 days later, a traveling monk arrived in the village. People said he had spent 20 years in the Himalayas learning silence and wisdom. He was known as Baba Raman. He wore simple cotton clothes. His face looked peaceful, as if he carried the sky within him. Every morning he sat under a banyan tree near the river, listening to anyone who came to him. Tara noticed him and said, "Go speak to him once. Maybe it will help you." Devansh laughed. "What will he teach me? I deal with real problems. He just sits under a tree." But tired hearts often go where pride refuses to go. So the next morning, just after sunrise, Devansh walked to the banyan tree. Standing before the monk, unsure how to begin, he finally said, "Baba, I am tired. People make me angry every day. I cannot control my reactions." Baba Raman smiled gently. "Sit." After a long silence, he took out a small bowl filled with oil. "Carry this bowl," he said. "Walk around the tree once, but remember, do not spill even a single drop." Devansh walked carefully, watching every step. He returned without spilling anything. The monk asked, "While you walked, did you hear the birds? Did you see the people passing by?" Devansh shook his head. "No, Baba. I was only looking at the bowl." The monk smiled. "That is the secret. When the mind has one clear focus, noise cannot disturb it." For the first time, Devansh understood a simple but powerful truth. His mind reacted because it had no focus. The next day, Baba gave him another task. He handed him a white cloth and said, "Keep this cloth clean until evening." Devansh agreed. He walked through the market. Dust blew. People bumped into him. Children played nearby. By evening, the cloth was dirty. "I failed," he said sadly. Baba shook his head. "No, you learned something. This cloth is your mind. If you walk through life without awareness, dirt will fall on it." He dipped the cloth in water and squeezed it. The water turned brown. "This," Baba said, "is what anger does. It mixes with the mind and makes everything unclear." For the first time in years, Devansh felt quiet within. That evening he decided, "I will try, at least I will try." The first test came the next morning. A rooster crowed loudly near his window. Normally he would shout, but this time he closed his eyes and whispered, The noise is outside. My peace is inside. For the first time, he did not react. At the market, a shopkeeper tried to overcharge him. Anger rose hot and fast, but he remembered the bowl of oil. He breathed slowly and said, "It's fine. I'll buy from someone fair." He walked away peacefully. 2 days later, a group of young men mocked him. "Look, the angry man has turned into a saint." His fists tightened, his heart burned, the old self tried to rise. Then he remembered the dirty cloth, how it turned brown when he allowed everything to touch it. He exhaled and said, "You're right. I used to get angry. Now I'm learning something better." The boys fell silent. One asked, "How do you stay calm when we tease you?" Devansh replied, "When someone throws dirt, you don't have to keep it on your heart." Weeks passed. Tara saw a change. He spoke softly, listened more, and breathed before reacting. One morning he returned to Baba Raman and bowed. "Baba, I understand now. The world will not change. People will not stop speaking, but I can choose what I allow inside." The monk smiled warmly. "You cannot control the wind, but you can control your sail." Years passed. People began coming to Devansh for advice. He never gave long lectures. He always said one simple line, "Peace is inside you. Don't hand it to others." One day a little boy asked, "Uncle, do people still make you angry?" Devansh smiled. "Sometimes they try, but I no longer react." And when you don't react, their power disappears. Watching the river glow under the sunset, he whispered, "When I stopped reacting, I started living." You cannot stop people, you cannot stop problems, but you can stop giving them power over your peace. Every reaction is a choice. Every moment of calm is strength. The next time someone tries to disturb you, smile quietly and say, "My peace is mine. I will not give it away." Because the one who controls his reaction controls his life.